Hey guys, I have with me right now Tony Deppen. You know him from his work on Ring of Honor, on the Independents. He has his own event coming up this weekend. It's Tony Deppen's BierHaus, Saturday, April 10th in Tampa. You can catch it on IWTV this weekend. Plenty to get into. Start right there. You have GoFundMe open to benefit talent. You have the event to benefit talent. Tell me how it came about, where you're at with, helping people out get down there that are on the card, or how's that looking?
Well, it was initially brought up to me because obviously Thou Shalt Not Be Named show, some things went down and they had a time slot. So I'm really close with all the people from IWTV, and they hit me up, asked me if I'd be interested in it. So I was like, why the hell not? Like, what's the worst could happen, right? So like, it was just kind of a spur in the moment thing. And I guess what's one less booking that I'm getting paid for. But in the end, like, I know that my time on the indies will, eventually subside. And within the next year, I don't think I'm going to be on the indies. Mm-hmm. And I would like to help the younger talent any way, shape, or form that I possibly can. And right now, this is the way that I could help them. So we set up a GoFundMe, pretty shy of the goal. We wanted to hit a $6,500 goal just to make sure everyone got paid and everything and anything got taken care of. But we have some sponsors, thankfully. So it's coming along. Like, am I worried about everybody getting paid? Yes. Am I worried about having a big house? Only because I want people to get paid. That's all I care about. People could watch the show. They could possibly just ignore it. I don't care. I just want to have fun and give these people an opportunity to showcase themselves on a larger platform. Like, I know we'll have the viewers on IWTV. I know that much. So
now, I got to ask, because you just mentioned it, you don't see yourself being on the indies in about a year or so. Is that, without getting too much into it, is that wrestling related? Is that?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere on a personal level. Like, I'm going to be the type of guy that wrestles until my wheels fall off, because it's the only thing I know and it's the only thing I've been doing. Like, I don't have any other hobbies outside of wrestling. Like, I'm watching wrestling right now. Like, mm-hmm. Like, it's all I do. So like, I'm the type of person that when I'm like, my body feels, that's when I'll be gone.
Okay. The reason I asked is because I saw somewhere where you said, craft brewing was like a hobby, and I didn't know if.
Oh no, I'm opening up a brewery.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it turned in from like a hobby, and now it's like a business plan. So I didn't know if that was part of it, or.
No, I have two other business partners that they understand that, like, my other obligations. They understand also that it's free marketing for us there, because I'm traveling all over and people are seeing our brand. So mm-hmm. I'm not going anywhere. That's my life after wrestling. So because I know wrestling's not forever, or at least making a living forever. So mm-hmm. I had to figure something out, because I don't want to go back to work ever again.
Anything you can kind of preview as far as that brand goes?
What do you mean, the beer itself, or?
Yeah, like what's going on? It caught my interest. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, it's not just, like I said, it's not just a hobby. It turned actually into something like fruitful for you. So. Yeah.
Right now we're waiting for our equipment to get here. It's stuck in transit. So everything's coming along. We wanted to be open prior to COVID, but I guess it was a blessing in disguise, because if we didn't get, if we would have got all the finances ready right then and there, and we would open up before COVID, chances are we would have been shut down by now. So
I guess you got to look at it as positive. Now you have something to look forward to.
Yeah, and it's we're open in the middle of May, and that's right around, like, in Pennsylvania. They said May 1st, everybody's eligible for vaccines no matter what. So like in our mind, we're just hoping that a lot of people are like, they have their second dose by the time, and that's when they're like, you know what, let's just go out and, small business has been hit real hard. Let's go and start supporting small businesses more, and then we just get an influx of people coming in to try our beer and just hopefully make long-term customers.
Yeah, I hope it works out. I know, and I hope Pennsylvania kind of gets their shit together, because I know I'm out near Philadelphia, so I'm like in the suburbs, and it's like Philadelphia has enough, and then some counties have enough, but then my county, which is Montgomery County, and we got hit the hardest, they don't have enough. So like I had to drive to New Jersey for my vaccine. So it's kind of
I actually have my first vaccine doses today. Because I couldn't find, because I took a COVID test today for the collective, because I make sure every show I go to, I have a COVID test.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying to my friend, I was like, I'm getting sick and tired of this COVID test. I've had like 28 or 30 COVID tests this so far. I was like, I need the vaccine. I was like, I can't find it. So he's like, here you go. He's like, there's one at 4:55. He's like, schedule it right now. I was like, oh, sweet. Now I'm hoping I don't have the symptoms going into Mania week.
There you go. When it works out, it works out. I hope everything goes well. And getting back to, Mania week, the show on this Saturday, it sounds like a pretty crazy environment. Like it's, beer branded. It's
At a brewery.
At a brewery. One of the matches is a 6-way pub crawl match. Anything you want to talk about that match in particular? Anything else?
I just want to focus on making sure the card runs smoothly, give the people an opportunity. Like, obviously we don't have the budget that like the other shows in the area have, so like we're stretched, but like I reconfigured the card on what it was, and I think it's pretty good. Like I'd have like 2 more matches to announce. I might throw an extra random one in just because, I don't know.
I saw another comment you made, and it was just kind of like you're hoping for some views on IWTV and a fun show. And like you just said a few minutes ago, you're really just hoping that people that are working the show get paid and taken care of. So if anybody listening, watching, reading this wants to help out, just go on GoFundMe, search Tony Deppen's BierHaus to benefit talent. You can make a donation, share it, just kind of help out. I admire the attitude going into it, just because there's a lot of uncertainty about going to WrestleMania itself, and you're just kind of trying to take care of everybody and not have it be this huge overblown thing. Like you said, you're not really too concerned about having this like crazy turnout. It's really about the talent and kind of taking care of them in a situation that was out of their control. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you too, because I feel like this deserves some more attention. And
like it's even like all tickets are $20 for the show, so it's first come first serve, where you don't pay for front row, you pay for your ticket, you get there before everybody else in front row, well then you're going to be sitting in front row. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure I could get these people, like if I get them a payday, like especially because some of them had their flights booked down there and stuff. So, and is their only opportunity. Some of these guys, it was their only opportunity that they had on the show to wrestle on any shows. And you never know whose eyes might be on that show specifically, and maybe they'll be able to, get more bookings after this. So like, and if that happens off of a kid that no one really knew who they were prior to the show, then I feel like it'd be a success, because that's what WrestleMania weekend did to me. I wrestled on a few shows that no one knew who I was. And then after that, everything just started snowball affecting for me and just growing for me. So,
yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to pay attention to, especially in hindsight, because you're one of the guys that kind of benefited from that. Last year, it was supposed to be Chris Dickinson, and Matt Riddle was another one of those guys a few years ago. Like, is that something that you maybe don't try to like blow up and have it be a certain thing, but is that like something you pay attention to? Like, if I'm on this show, like it could lead to something.
When I went in, it was just more on the lines of, because I was working a full-time job, and I'm a realist. I'm not the biggest person in the world, in my like height or weight wise. And I just wanted to have fun with wrestling. It's like, I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to, do what I always do, have some fun. And if something comes of it, that's cool. Like I never looked at it as like, oh my God, so-and-so might be there to see me or anything. I just wanted to go in and put on the best show I could possibly do. And that's what I did. And that's all I want these kids to do.
One thing I did want to ask about is uh, one of your matches that you did recently have, the 60-man Ironman match with Trish Adora. What was that like? Because that's another thing that's like getting attention after the fact.
Honestly, that was just on a whim. I just wanted to, because I did the 2 hour Iron match with Jordan Oliver, and I was just thinking, I was like, has there ever been like a woman versus a man in a iron matchup? And I was just like, I was searching all over, and I was just like, I guess it never happened. So I randomly just tweeted because I may have been drunk. I don't know. I just tweet like as a drunk thought. I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, and I didn't expect like anybody to really like jump on it. I didn't really expect it to get the steam it got.
Mm-hmm.
And people were throwing out names left and right. And then when people are throwing out names, Beyond's like, hey, we will host it. And then PWI commented, and they're like, hey, we'll sponsor it. To like find the person and we'll get the date. So I was just going through all the list of people, and one of my close friends, he's more familiar with most of the women's workers because his wife works as well. So I was like, hey, can you give me the rundown on something? Because I didn't have the time to watch like 40, 50 matches of different people. And he's just like, out of everyone on this list, he's like, I bet you Trish will have the best match with you. He's like, she's really good. And I was just like, oh, well, like, then it's Trish. So I just messaged her. I was like, hey, are you really interested? And like, I could set it up because I had the people that wanted to do it. And she's like, okay, cool. So we had the match, and I had a lot of fun working with her, and she's extremely talented. It's like, and I'm not I wasn't too familiar with her, but now I make sure I watch any of the stuff she posts because I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, and I feel like she's one of those names that is really starting to get some attention in the past few months. Willow Nightingale is another one of the names.
Willow is fantastic. Somebody suggested her, and she messaged me, and she's like, please do not pick me. She's like, I'm not wrestling for an hour. I was like, okay. I was like, that's fine.
But like, it's kind of cool to see name recognition beyond that. And it's like, it almost feels like, yeah, we've been in the social media age for so long, but it's like these little pockets of social media where you still have your fans, but now it's like more widespread. And I don't really know what's leading to that, but it's kind of cool. Like, I really think it's just the past year, maybe people are looking for new content and didn't know where to find it. So it's like word of mouth and suggestions and all that stuff. So it's been pretty cool to find their work and, some of that tri-state area flavor. So
oh yeah, and Willow's also improved immensely in the, like, you couldn't tell. I like just watching her recently at the Beyond show last week, you couldn't tell she had almost a year off because she's fucking fantastic. Like she had a great matchup.
mm-hmm.
And like, I think a lot of people are just looking for new faces. Everybody wants to be the person, the up and coming. They know that they see the guy or the woman when they were wrestling in front of 20 people. And then when they make it big, they're like, I remember seeing that person there. And then they also want to make sure that person is not a pile of shit. Like in the past year, we had a lot of the Me Too speaking out movement going on. And a lot of people got acts, and it made people want to evaluate who they wanted to support. And they want to make sure they're supporting somebody that's not a total scumbag.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing, is you don't know until it happens. So I think people are being more careful with who they associate, hopefully doing background checks. I know a lot of maybe it was like 2018 and 2019, but it was like, oh, the big promotions, WWE's stealing and raiding the indies. And it was like, now I feel like once we're past that whole who's going to step up next, you don't have to worry about who's stepping up next. Somebody is always going to be coming in the pipeline and is going to be like really, really talented, because they know that they're not waiting for the spot anymore. It's like theirs to take, like grabbing, I don't even want to use the phrase grabbing the brass ring, but like, that they're going to be ready for it. And
take the most of their opportunities. And there are a few wrestlers out there that are like that. Then there are people that have a lot of potential coming up. But the problem with the potential people is when WWE, AEW rated everyone in the past year and a half, like if they got any steam, now the potential kid's coming up and he's like, well, who do I have to look to help me get to my level? Like, I remember when I did PWG for the first time in 2019, I think it was. And I was just like, I'm going to PWG. I'm going to get to learn with work with some of the best wrestlers, and it's going to get me to my level that I want to be at. And, we did 3 shows and then COVID hit and then everybody got signed up. And I'm just like, man, now who can help me reach that level? Because I'm not at that level yet. But then I'd have younger kids hit me up and it's like, oh, you can get me to that level. It's like, I'm trying to get myself to the level. So it's really hard to balance, like for me to get myself to where I feel like I will be comfortable and good enough to, work at a Ring of Honor consistently, or, do like an AEW or something like that. But then also I had to help get other kids to a level that I'm not even at yet, which is hard.
That was what I was going to ask next is like, is that something you thought you would be ready to think about, or do you think about like not only being a mentor, so to speak, but, having to really continue bringing your career up and help at the same time? Because, there was that gap in between where it felt like talent was getting rated. And like I said, the talent is there now, but it's who's going to bring them up and teach them the right way. Like, is that something, you think about?
I think about it all the time. And like I said, I don't feel like I'm at a level of what some of the people that were prior to me that could have been beneficial for me to learn under, but I kind of have to do it. Like I never want to leave wrestling and just say, well, screw you guys. Like, I don't care what you do. Like, I want to make sure that, cause like, I love wrestling. It's something I've been extremely passionate about for many years. I've been doing this I'm on year 12 now. Like, and all I want to do is make it better in any way, shape, or form, whether it's being able to put on this show, or whether it's like when my time is up, I'm also like helping kids develop or help them be able to process things in wrestling better. Like, that's what I like. Like, whether or seminars or stuff like that. Like, that's my main goal. And like, I talked to Chris Dickinson about it because him and I, like, at this point, well, there's a few other, but like that comes to my mind. It's like Dickinson is like the last person that with me that we're just like, hey, we're the guys that were like all over everywhere. And we kind of need to just help these kids out as best as we can.
I kind of wanted to swing back to something you just mentioned. You're talking about your relationship with Chris Dickinson and kind of being like, feeling like you have this responsibility to wrestling. And now we're seeing you guys on Ring of Honor TV. You were wrestling some pure matches. You were in the tournament. Now VLNCE UNLTD is coming to Ring of Honor TV. What is it like getting that opportunity to work with him specifically? Like, I know we're probably going to find out more about the group in the weeks to come. What is it? What are your thoughts about getting to work with him on that level after having sort of what sounds like a mutual respect and similar beliefs in what you want out of wrestling?
I love that it's working with Chris, like, because like I said, Chris used to hate me with a passion. He did not like me one bit. And that was prior to me ever meeting him. Like, I remember the one time it was for Mania week down in New Orleans. There's a Kaju Big Battle show going on. And I was in the crowd and Janela took the microphone, was saying some stuff. And he mentioned my name and Dixon grabbed the microphone. Was like, I'll never wrestle you, Tony. You're trash. Like, right in front of everybody. Like, he just buried me. And and my wife's like, are you okay? Are you pissed? I was like, it's whatever. I was like, fuck him. It's like, fuck him. I saw him in Canada like 2 weeks later. And he's like, he came and he apologized. He's like, I should have never said that. And then then he wrestled me once at GCW. And then like, he just slowly got more and more respect for me. And then he sees my attitude where he knows where I'm at. Like, he knows I'm at PWG. He knows I'm at Ring of Honor. But when he talks to me, he knows that I'm always like, I just want to be a better wrestler. Like, I'm not where I want to be. And Chris has a lot of respect for people who are not afraid to call out on their own bullshit. So like, getting to work with Chris is going to be great because him and I are not afraid to say stuff to each other about like, I'm like, hey, maybe you should do this. And he was like, well, maybe you should do this. Like, and it's great that we could bounce ideas off each other, because that's when wrestling's the most fun to me. Like, we did the VLNCE UNLTD thing, and all four of us, Homicide, Brody, Dickinson, and myself, we just all clicked, and we're just having so much fun with the things that we were doing. It was just bouncing off each other's energy and stuff like that. And not once did we ever like, this is a chore. Like, it was a breeze to do stuff with them. And I'm looking forward to, like, I get to work with Homicide, which I've been watching independent wrestling for almost 20 years now. So I get to work with an OG of independent wrestling and Ring of Honor. I get to work with a current superstar of Ring of Honor that is on the verge of the Ring of Honor world title. And I get to work with Chris Dickinson. So I couldn't be any happier about the group I'm in with right now.
Yeah, like, not to push them aside, but like I asked because of Chris, but you know, Brody King and Homicide, like, two awesome guys. And what's it been like just really starting to get your name out there as far as with Ring of Honor fans, working pure matches and sort of being on your own to jumping into this group? There's definitely a contrast there.
Yeah, and I kind of like the build up, because like it was just a lot of I feel like it was placating too much to I had a child, and I was getting ready to be a father, and every time they would just want me to talk about that, and I'm just like, I don't want to beat a dead horse at that point, you know. And then they gave me a role with VLNCE UNLTD, and I feel like that suits me way better than just being the wrestler's wrestler that's thankful to be there. Like, that's like, it's not like, I tried that at CZW like in 2017, and it kind of sucked. So I was just like, oh man, I really hope I don't have to always be this nice baby face, yay type person going in. But like, they're giving me the opportunity to be who I am, and they gave us the ball with everything. So like, am I happy the way I came in? Yes, because it was right at the pandemic, like in the course of the pandemic, and anything would have been helpful to me, because like I only had one match, and that's with PJ. So like, anything to get them to buy into me was beneficial at that point. Now, if it would have been when I was supposed to originally appear for Ring of Honor back in April of last year, I wouldn't have done any of that probably.
It's interesting to watch how things unfold, because you had the pure match. I'm taking the name literally, VLNCE UNLTD. It's not going to be pure rules. And you're also ranked, at least as of last week, number 2 in the TV title ranking. So they're, I think, maybe doing a really good job of not putting you in one box and trying to plug you in and see where you fit and let you be a well-rounded performer. So is there a match that, if you had to pick, like, I'm putting you on the spot, like, is there one that represents who you want to be going forward, whether it's on Ring of Honor or on the independents? Like, you want to show somebody, be like, you know what, that best represents, like, all encompassing, like, best just represents who I am as a wrestler?
I would easily go out and probably say a match I had with Hot Sauce Tracy Williams at GCW about a year ago or something like that, because there's a lot of aggression, and it was just brutal a little bit. Like, he beat the hell out of me, but I had fun with it, and I gave it back, and it really emphasized my facial expressions and just the aggression that I bring. Like, that's what I like. I don't mind pure wrestling, don't get me wrong. I enjoy it, but I don't feel like that would suit me the best if that was what my entire demographic was based off of when I came to wrestling. So
fair enough.
Like, I hate the term, but it is what is almost what I like to be, a hybrid wrestler, because I like to wrestle, but then I also like to, do strong style. And then, like, if I wanted to get spotty, I can get spotty, but I try to combine it all into what I do, and not just do little sections and layers of those specific genres of wrestling.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think you're starting to see more talent just wanting to wrestle instead of worrying about what kind of wrestler they are. And I think that's, it's taking away some of the the negative shock value as far as like, oh wait, they're in this match. Do they make sense in it? And now it's more like, oh, that person is really good at wrestling. They're gonna make this a good match. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this unfolds. I'm looking forward to this weekend, April 10th. As I said, Tony Deppen's BierHaus. If you guys want to donate, help out talent, it's on GoFundMe. Just search Tony Deppen's BierHaus, BIERHOHAUS. Make sure you spell it right, not flub like I just did. Anything else you're looking forward to this weekend? Anything else you got going on?
I have a match with Jack Evans at Violence is Suffering. That will be something. Once again, I'm a huge independent wrestling fan for many, many years. So working with Jack Evans is kind of like a bucket list item for me. Yeah. Young Tony's pretty stoked about that. Then I have the Acid Cup. I'll be working with Cole Radrick in the first round for GCW. That's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday at 3. That's when that show starts. And then I have No Holds Barred against Daniel Garcia. That's their little tournament thing. It's like they call it the Tough Guy tournament. I don't know what the hell it's called. I just know I'm wrestling Daniel Garcia, and I think Dan is one of those guys that is like up and coming. And Dan will, like, if somebody doesn't scoop up Dan quicker than people find out about him, but Dan will be that guy if he continues his path.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I'm just like some of the other stuff I was talking about as far as like regionalized, and I'm starting to find out more about like the Buffalo Boys and like Limitless and like that kind of area, because I was so not focused, but like I knew a lot about like tri-state wrestling and when I lived there, Florida. But I talked to him a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago now, but for like the Limitless stuff, he's breaking out. It's, I definitely agree with him being like that one of the names in that next crop that's probably going to break out. And if nobody picks him up, it's going to be like, why haven't you caught on to him yet? He's young, tremendously talented. So a lot to look forward to this week. Check out Ring of Honor TV wherever you watch it, whether it's syndication or on Fight. Check out Tony's event and some of the other matches he just gave us. But thanks very much for your time today, man. It was good getting to learn a little bit more about you, and hopefully we learn more about the brewery in the next couple months. You have more good news to share.
Yeah, thank you for giving me a chance to plug this. Like I'm trying, like I've been doing quite a few of these lately, and I honestly dislike doing podcasts because I have so many other things that I have to do like all the time. Mm-hmm. But I like I said, I want to make sure that these people get paid, like get them paid, get them an opportunity to be seen, and then call it a day. I'll probably never run a show again.
Well, I'll leave you with this. Maybe after it's all said and done, you are like, oh man, I want to run a second one. But either way, you're doing a good thing, and I appreciate your time even more so. So have a good afternoon, man.
Thank you. You too.